All right, man. Here we go. Once again, we are live. I'm your boy Jose V, broadcasting live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Thank you guys again for joining me. What's today? Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, whatever it is you guys celebrate out there, man. I appreciate you joining in and giving me some of your time tonight. Big shout out tonight, obviously, to Vegas Sports Daily. As always, they're always supporting me, always helping me out. But tonight, I just got to give a big shout out to Kevin from Clever Shirts, clevershirts.com. If you have not checked them out, check them out, man. Look, let me show you real quick. All right. He did hook me up with the Straight Bet Sports with Jose V official tee. Finally got it done. Thank you, man. I greatly appreciate you, and I greatly appreciate you sponsoring today's show. Now, we got a great show on tap for you today. I know you guys have been watching. If you have not, get from under the rock, take the blanket off your face, and let's get going. I know you've been watching The Last Dance, the Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls special. If you haven't, you're missing a lot. I wanted to get into this conversation with some people that are passionate about basketball, but sports as well. But not only that, that I know have been watching this, that are in it and are going to give their full, real opinion. Not sugarcoated, no BS, just real talk, real conversation, and let you guys know what they feel and what their thoughts are. Now, if you guys haven't checked them out already, they are the Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk Radio crew. You can find them on Facebook, also on Twitter as well, and on Instagram. Make sure you check them out. Their show is every Tuesday night from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Saturdays, I do believe it's 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on the fellas here so you guys can know who I'm talking about. My guy, Goose Thomas and Dre Bailey, going to go ahead and join me now. What's going on, fellas? Greatly appreciate you joining me tonight after having me on your show last night. So let's jump right into it, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. I'll let you guys get started first.
Go ahead, Dre.
You got it, Goose.
Well, I mean, since he passed it over to me, man, it's your man, Goose Thomas, man. One half of the LTBB crew, man. We've been at this thing for almost a decade now, bro. Bringing nothing but the best in sports talk radio and real life news, man. That's what we like to do, man. We like to bring the real in everything that we do, whether it's sports, real life, doesn't matter. Any subject that's brought up, man, we bring the honest truth. And it's been a pleasure to work alongside Dre Bailey, man, for as long as we have, man. And we got plenty more to go, bro. This is just the tip of the iceberg, man. We're going absolutely nowhere. And we appreciate you, Jose, for bringing us on, bro. Love having you in studio, man. Your insight. It's a beautiful thing, man, all the way around, man. We appreciate you, brother.
Hey, it's all love and family, man. You guys know that. You guys have shown me a lot of love and respect, and I do the same back, man. That's all it is.
Already. Yes, sir.
Man. Well, it's kind of hard to follow that, man. We are the Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk Radio Show, man. LTBB crew, man, in the building, man. We appreciate you, Jose, for allowing us to come onto your show, man, and talk about this Last Dance with Michael Jordan and the Pips. Man, like Goose said, man, you can find us every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Gorilla Cross app, man. Just, download the Gorilla Cross app on your phone, man, and you can follow the Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk Radio Show every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and every Saturday at 2 p.m., man. So we appreciate you, Jose, man. We appreciate you, G. And Goose, I appreciate you too, man. We got something, brewing and something good going on, man. And it is what it is. This is what we do, man. We give you guys the best of sports talk radio. Let's get it.
But let's be real, Dre. When don't you guys got something brewing?
Don't mind me. I'm getting my Dennis Rodman, Michael Jordan on right now, man. So don't mind me, man.
So for those of you that can see Goose with the cigar, you didn't see it earlier, but before we came live, we was talking behind it, and he was already puffing, man. Getting ready. I'm like, man, you already relaxing, you ready to come.
That's my mode, man.
A big shout out to Quan too, man. You guys just say Gorilla Cross Radio. That's where you can find Let the Ball Bounce, Girl Chat Sports, all the other great content that they have there, man. Go ahead and check out Gorilla Cross. Like I said, big shout out to Quan. But let's jump right into it, man. The Last Dance. We're 4 episodes in at a time where I believe we needed something like this more than ever, especially with the pandemic going on and nothing live that's actually happening. For them to give us something like this that we didn't get to see and we had to wait 20 some odd years just to get some of the behind the scene footage, I think is amazing. I'm glad they brought it out when they did. I'm glad they brought it out a bit early. They pulled it back a bit, like they said, because you have to right now. For sports fans like us or just people in the media that need to conversate or have something to talk about, they're giving us that. They're fueling our fire, and they're allowing us to continue what we love to do. Now, I'm enjoying it, man. I'm seeing things on there that I forgot about or that I didn't even know was happening, that it's just opening my eyes to some things. But what is your biggest take, whether it's Dre or Goose, that you've seen from this, this series so far that you either didn't know, didn't remember, or it broadened your horizons a little more about the whole situation and the Jordan thing?
Well, with me, I'm a huge Jordan fan. In my opinion, he's my GOAT on that Mount Rushmore. If we're talking about basketball players, I'm 44, man. I completely followed Michael Jordan's entire career, and so watching that and knowing that, I already knew that there were certain things that was going on with the team. Whether it be his retirement, then coming back. And I knew that there were some negotiations with Phil. And then I knew that they went out and got Dennis Rodman. And then I knew that they were actively trying to, in talks of trading Scottie Pippen. But I didn't know all of the things behind it and why and who was causing all of the mischief, man. And just watching this series, man, it's bringing everything that I grew up watching come to full circle.
Yeah, absolutely, man. For me, I think my biggest takeaway so far, man, has been Jerry Krause. Right. I mean, just look at now. It's a twofold thing, right, with Jerry Krause, right? So while he was the mastermind behind,
the team,
creating and galvanizing those troops, so to speak, right, he was also the cause of the breakup. Let's think about this. Like it was like he sabotaged his own project. You know what? If y'all not gonna give me the credit, I'm gonna sabotage the whole thing. Type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And it just seems as though, as time went on, especially in the 96, 97, 98 run, where folks started to, kind of move away from him, so to speak, and really concentrate on the players themselves. Yeah. He kind of pulled a, I'm taking my ball and going home type of deal. And that's exactly what it seemed like to me. I'm taking my ball, I'm going home, forget all of y'all. Y'all can't play no ball if I got the ball. You know what I'm saying? So, in that aspect, it's like Jerry Krause, he created the whole thing and then he sabotaged it. To call Phil Jackson in and tell him right to his face in the middle of this, we talking in the middle of this run, hey man, your time's up. This is your last go round.
Exactly. In the middle of the run before the season starts.
In the middle of the run.
You have the greatest player of all time at that time, and a lot of people, in a lot of people's eyes. And you're basically saying, I don't care what you do. Phil even said it in the documentary. I don't care if you win 82 games straight. You're not coming back next year. How then? Wow.
It makes no sense. Makes no sense. Makes no sense at all, man. So that's been my biggest takeaway thus far. I mean, you got your little things, that of course we're going to talk about. So I ain't going to divulge that. But the little things that each of us have seen and we have our own opinions on. But that's my biggest thing. That's what really sticks out to me over the first 4 episodes, man. Jerry Krause, no doubt.
Got it. Dre, what's the biggest thing that sticks out for you?
Biggest thing that sticks out for me, man, is honestly the owner of the team. The fact that the other Jerry.
He's a funny character. The way Jerry talks, though, man, I love.
He's hilarious, bro. He's hilarious, bro.
What stuck out to me is him. The fact that he owns the team, he's the one that hired Jerry Krause. And during this whole season, he's saying to the camera, Jerry Krause shouldn't have handled it that way. He shouldn't have said that. He shouldn't have done that. But you're the owner of the team. You should have nipped that in the bud right away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but sometimes owners don't want to get involved, right? But I know what you're saying. At that point, you should. It's a different situation. But majority of owners don't want to get involved, right? Sometimes it doesn't work when the owner gets involved. Dallas Cowboys, case in point, Jerry Jones can't get out of his own way. Well, been a long time.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. If he should have gotten involved, especially making comments like that to Phil Jackson to his face in the middle of a run. And the fact that you've gotten 6 champions out of this and you still didn't say anything, at some point you got to step up and be an owner and say, you know what, enough's enough. You either shut it up or I got to get rid of you.
So you think it was a thing about finances? You think they couldn't afford it, or you think it was just Jerry being Jerry and it's my thing? Jerry Cross is like, I'm gonna make the team moving forward. I've done it once, I can do it again. Because you think that's basically the mentality that he had? Because think about it, when he came in, he got a couple coaches first, right? Until he finally groomed Phil and brought him in. He tried to do the same thing with Tim Floyd and groom him. That didn't work.
That didn't work.
He had it with Doug Collins, though.
But like they said in the documentary, the offense that Doug Collins had was just, it was all around Jordan. Score.
Right.
Jordan gets the ball.
Right.
As where Phil had a different implementation from someone that got benched in Tex Winter just because he had an offense that nobody wanted to listen to. Like, I didn't even, that's one other thing. I didn't even know how far back Tex Winter went. That's one of the things that I learned.
Hey, Dre, if I'm not mistaken, ain't he a Long Beach 49er? And he a Long Beach State 49er? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Tex Winter go back to Long Beach State, baby. Wow. Yes, indeed. A long way back. Long way back. Yes, sir. That's crazy. Man. It was just I think what it was at that time, you know, you got some young dudes and Mike and Scotty at that time, and they weren't necessarily interested in a complex offense like that. They just want to run and gun, score the basketball. That's what these two dudes used to doing together, rather than pass, everybody touch it. Okay, make a cut, get to the bucket. Because that's essentially what the triangle offense was. Yeah. But I guess at that time, you know, them being so young, they didn't really want to get into that type of basketball. But, you know, as time went on, they kind of saw, hey, man, this is it's a lot of options off of this thing, man, if we just take our time and learn it.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Once again, I am Jose V. This is Straight Bet Sports. Tonight, we are brought to you by Clever Shirts. I am joined by the Let the Ball Bounce crew, Dre Bailey and Goose Thomas. Greatly appreciate you guys coming on. Now, kind of piggybacking off of what you said, Goose, with the triangle offense and everything they did, they even talked about it in the documentary, how once Jordan started giving up the ball and saw that John Paxson can score and all these other guys can actually do it. Before he was saying, I don't want to give the ball to Bill Cartwright. I don't want that to be the damn final shot. But when he realized that it works and he can give it to other people, he became a better player at that point in time. Like Phil said, you're not going to score 36, 37, but he was still scoring a lot and still facilitating, and the team was getting better.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mein, at the end of the day, if Jordan was to do it all over again, he still wouldn't give the ball to Bill Cartwright. I
don't think I would.
Me with you, Jose. I'm just being 100 with you. I mean, but if I have a wide open John Paxson for a shot that all he does is shoot the ball, I'm going to give it to him. You got to understand where Michael Jordan was coming from. He came to a losing franchise. They were 2 seasons away from sending that team to North Las Vegas here in Nevada. I'm just saying. That's how bad they were. And so when you come from a losing tradition, and then now all of a sudden you're starting to get the fans back, you're starting to get the publicity and kind of carry that team on your back by just your hard work. It took Jordan a second to realize, you know what? I do need to give the ball up because now I don't have the same team that I started with. I actually have some guys that can actually play.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that, man. You have it's like Novocaine, man. You got to give it time to work, man. And that's exactly what that was, man. You know, getting back to the triangle offense, man. It's just like Novocaine. You got to give it time to work, man. And that's what that, you know, bringing Phil in and having the maturation of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, I think what was obviously the biggest, you know, thing in that whole, you know, sequence, because if they don't mature, then the triangle is never going to work. because they're never going to buy in. So once they bought in, everybody else had no choice but to fall in line.
How big was Scotty, though? I mean, let's be real. He comes from Central Arkansas or South Central Arkansas, whatever it was, a college nobody's really ever heard of. Kid grows 5 inches, I believe, from his freshman or sophomore year or whatever it was. And then he basically becomes the glue that Michael Jordan needed to basically get over the hump and win the championships. Like Michael said, when they speak of Michael Jordan, they should speak of Scottie Pippen. That's respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's total respect. Because Jordan has never walked around saying, I'm the greatest, I'm this, I'm that, which is something that LeBron takes a lot of slack for because he's always saying, I'm the greatest player in the planet, in the world, whatever it may be. But how huge do you guys honestly think that Jordan wins no titles if there is no Scottie Pippen, or do we still see Jordan at least winning a couple titles?
I don't think they win without Scottie. Scottie was that glue. Scottie Pippen did things that to hold that team together before Dennis Rodman got there. You know, for the first 3 chips, Scottie was the one rebounding. For the first 3 chips, Scottie was the one bringing the ball up. For the first 3 chips, Scottie was the one diving outside to get loose balls. For the first 3 chips, Scottie Pippen guarded the best player. You know, he did a lot of those things to help in that first run with the Chicago Bulls. So Scottie Pippen, man, you know, he is definitely, you know, and that's what I don't understand when people say, you know, Scottie Pippen he shouldn't be on that top 50 of greatest players of all time. I mean, Scottie Pippen was basically unheard of. The fact that Chicago Bulls went and made a trade for him on draft day to get him from Seattle and come over to Chicago, because people forget that Chicago had drafted Settles to be that Pippen over in Chicago. But Settles just never worked with Jordan. It could never work.
Never panned out.
And they got rid of it.
Never panned out. I totally agree, man. There's no way, and I hear a lot of people, because we talk about it. We talk about this often. You know, the whole it comes up a lot with, you know, Jordan and Pippen, and, you know, would he have won without Pip? I mean, we don't know because he didn't. we don't know because he didn't. He didn't win without Pip. So with that being said, we have to assume, hey man, he probably wouldn't have, because we didn't see him win without him. It's really kind of that simple. I mean, we can say, oh, well, the draft would have went this way, and it would have. Well, we don't know that. We don't know how the draft would have gone. We don't know that, because Sam Bowie got picked before Michael Jordan. So we really don't know how the draft would have gone. Nobody can honestly say that. But I mean, when you look at the way that team was built, and through the offense that it was built, Scottie was perfect for it. He was perfect for it. With him having the talent that he did coming out of Central Arkansas, he actually sacrificed. Let's be honest. Pip could be a 25-point a night scorer if he wanted to, because he was that good offensively. But he took it upon himself to hone in defensively and just score whenever he was needed to score. That's what that was. So he sacrificed big time. So I don't see, you know, what people, Jordan would have did this without Scottie. Scottie not that important. Man, you better look at the tapes. You might want to look at the tapes.
Once again, I am Jose V. This is Straight Bet Sports. I am brought to you by Clever Shirts Tonight and Vegas Sports Daily, as always, joined by the Let the Ball Bounce crew, Dre Bailey and Goose Thomas tonight. Now, sticking to Scottie, a lot of people in the documentary, on the part where it talks about his injury, how he went about the contract negotiations and all that, I'm hearing good, I'm hearing bad. I'm hearing people say that he should have done it earlier, like Jordan said. You know, he was okay with the way he did it, the way Phil said. My opinion, I love Phil Jackson's attitude. The way he said, no, I wasn't upset. You gotta understand the player's point of view, what they're going through. He was a player. He won championships. When he became a coach, he won championships before he got to the Bulls. That's what I like, because there's too many coaches now that are just about the game. I get it. You can't give too much slack to certain players, which we're going to talk about here in a minute with Dennis Rodman as well. But you also got to know how to love, respect, and coach your players on and off the court, right? So with me, I like the way Scottie went about it. But like Jerry Reinsdorf said, when you signed that contract, I told you, don't come to see me. You signed it, that's it. Don't come bugging me. Don't come asking for anything. That's one thing I did like about Jerry Reinsdorf was that he stuck to his contracts. You signed it, that's your choice. Now, I also understand Scottie Pippen's situation because his upbringing, his family, like he said, I wanted to make sure I had some of that money. I wanted to make sure my people were set. I get that. I'm from a poverty area too. I grew up in South Central. My mom was a single mom. If I could ever make it, trust me, I always wanted that opportunity. So I get it. But at the same time, you got to know your value, Scottie. At that point in time in the league, like they said, he was probably the second best player in the league, making 126th best player money.
It's arguable. You can argue it.
Are you guys against him for what he did when it comes to the injury and how he went about his surgery? I'm not. I think he went about it the right way. I mean, it's a little too late with the money and the contract, but I get it. I'm not going to mess up my summer like he said. I'm going to rehab, but it could have hurt the team as well. So I kind of understand. I mean, it did hurt the team in a way in the beginning, but I kind of understand Jordan's stance as well. What do you guys think about that situation now and how he went about it?
Well, I think that Scottie went about it the best way that Scottie knew how to go about it. Scottie was trying to make a point, and whether he made that point or not remains to be seen. The fact that, Scottie did sign that contract, a lot of people forget that, Scottie Pippen was one of 9 or 10 kids or something coming out of that house in Central Arkansas. He had his dad and his brother who were wheelchair ridden in the house. And at that time, Scottie didn't know how good Scottie was going to be. Scottie knew he was good, but he didn't know he was going to be that good. I don't think anybody knew Scottie was going to be that good, because if he did, he would have maybe signed a more lucrative deal. But at the same time, coming from Central Arkansas and having the different dynamics and things like that he was coming from with his family, when someone offers you $7 million, 7 years, 19 million, or whatever the price was, me coming from Central Arkansas, and I'm one of 9 or 10 kids, and we are dirt poor, I'm signing that contract. I'm sorry. That's just how it's going to be. But, I think Scottie was in his feelings a little bit because he felt kind of like Jerry Krause. He felt like they aren't really acknowledging my worth. I have done A, B, C, and D that you asked of me, and you guys haven't even gave me any incentives or even pulled me into the office to even offer me another contract or maybe restructuring the contract, because the Jerry Krause didn't even know that Scottie Pippen was going to be that good. You see what I'm saying? So I think when that didn't happen, he kind of got into his feelings, and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna have surgery. Have it on the Chicago Bulls dime, not my summertime. They're not paying me over the summer to go and mess my summer up and go have surgery. And now I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm going to do it on their dime. And at the same time, you got to look at the situation for what it was. The Chicago Bulls were so good that Scottie Pippen only had to play half a season.
They had Rodman too, though. They had Rodman too.
Yeah.
They had Rodman. He ain't Scottie.
By that time,
He ain't Scottie though.
No, he's not.
You're right. Goose, what do you think?
I'm along those same lines. I would like to add though, at that time, I don't think financial literacy was high on the priority list. I'll just say that, right? You're looking at the number as far as money is concerned, but you're not even paying attention to the amount of years that you have to play through that number. And I mean, honestly, now, of course, players are more privy, they're more savvy to the way money works and how league revenue works. I wasn't there, but I'm about 99% sure that nobody knew how league revenue worked back then. Nobody.
Probably.
I'm almost certain about it. So Scotty wasn't even thinking about it. Like Dre said, Scotty's not thinking about that. I got a family back in rural Arkansas that needs me. They need me. I'm gonna take whatever I can get, sign on the dotted line, keep it moving. It's exactly how he was thinking. And I can't say I blame him for that, especially during that time. Can't say I blame him.
Got to get paid somehow. You got to take care of your family, regardless, right?
Absolutely.
You can't blame him. But like you said, I mean, was it an 8-year contract, 7-year contract?
It was 7 years, 18 million.
Yeah.
Now, when you're looking at the money per season, that's like a rookie deal now. That's not it. That's actually rookies probably make out more than that, depending on who you are. Come on now. I think the vet minimum might be $5 million a year now. Like, it's insane. You talking about? I think Pitt might have been making what that came out to about 2.7 million. That's like a mid-round first rounder. That's what they making. Yeah. That's insane, bro. And he was one of the top 50 players of all time.
Yeah.
They made the list in 96, bro. That top 50 list got made in 1996. He was already on the list, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
11 years in the
That's
league
insane.
already.
That's crazy to even think about.
Was it 10 years in the league and he was already on the list? Because he came in and what, 85, 86, something like that? 85, 87?
Was it 87?
2 years after Jordan. So 86, 87, I think it was.
86, 87. There you go.
10 years in the league, you already
top 50. Unbelievable.
Not top 50 in the league, top 50 all time.
Yeah. Top 50 all the time.
But
come on, bro.
Yeah. When it's all said and done, he ended up making his money back. That's for sure.
Oh, no doubt about that. Oh, no doubt. he definitely when he got the interview, I want to say it was a post-game interview, and he was saying, my time will come. That's all he would say. My time will come. And it came. Yeah. Absolutely.
Kind of like the show going back. You know, the show goes back and forth 3 years. Let's go back real quick. So this whole dysfunctionality with Jerry Krause didn't start in the 90s. Let's be real. It started the year that Jordan broke his foot. They limped into the playoffs as an 8 seed against the Celtics. And then Jerry Krause was sour ever since. Let's be honest. They're not saying that. No one's committed or saying that. But from what I'm seeing, from what I saw, and from everything, the way it just went down, he was sour. He wanted a higher draft pick, and he didn't like the fact that a player was coming out on national television or on an interview basically saying, I'm not about losing, I'm not about draft picks, I'm here to win and have a winning organization. So you think that, my opinion, I think that that's when it all started. You guys agree? Do you guys agree? Think that it started from the 80s, right in the beginning?
Most definitely. Jerry Krause wanted to be the puppet master. And what he didn't understand was the player that drafted in Michael Jordan was a winner already mentally. Jordan came in the first game and changed the culture right away. And he had a I don't care what we got to do to win type of attitude. If I'm a GM, a head coach, I want a player like that. You know what I'm saying? Jerry Krause should have sat down with Michael Jordan and pulled aside, we want to try draft picks. We want to try to build a team. You need to trust in me, blah, blah, blah. Instead of trying to get around and not effectively communicate. Let's be honest.
So here's my question, though. The owner even says it in the documentary. I asked around about him. I talked to a lot of people. Everybody told me to stay away from the guy. Don't hire him. Granted, we understand what he did. We understand what he created. You know what I mean? But you still didn't. You couldn't do it without Mike or Scotty. Let's be real, because everything else you didn't do it when they weren't there. So if you're an owner, why? If you're Jerry Reinsdorf, why are you taking that chance? I mean, Why would you even take that chance and hire this guy, knowing that everybody in the league, not only in Major League Baseball, because remember, he came from the White Sox. He was a scout with the White Sox. Not only from Major League Baseball, but from the NBA, he heard, no, don't hire this guy. Why would he go out and hire him at that point in time? Basically, everything that happened, you kind of set yourself up for that without even knowing.
Oh, I mean, let's be honest.
Tough.
Look at the team that Jerry had in the Chicago Bulls. What did he have to lose? They were literally
cocaine circuit.
They were literally
crazy.
Cocaine circuit. They were literally the dumpster fire of the NBA. Yeah. And let's be honest, man. We're giving Jerry Krause our time, which we should. And I'm gonna go ahead and take it a step further and say Jerry Krause was lucky because they didn't know when they drafted Michael Jordan that he was going to be considered the greatest basketball player of all time. He didn't know when he drafted Scottie Pippen that Scottie Pippen was going to exceed all expectations that anyone had for him. He got lucky in these two, bro. He got extremely lucky.
Boy, he hit the jackpot, bro. It's like that dude that always, you got a partner, somebody that always do the scratch off tickets or play Keno all the time in the casino, and every time you with them, they always hit. That's Jerry Krause, bro. That's him. You like, dog, every time I'm with you, bro, you always hit it. Whether if it's $100, 10,000, we just in the casino and you stop. You put one quarter in the slot and out come $3,000.
Yeah,
that was Jerry Krause, man. He was just a really, really lucky dude. Like the stars literally fell on Jerry Krause, bro.
Yeah.
A Big Dipper, any star you can name, any sequence of stars you can name, landed right on Jerry Krause's. I mean, it just landed right on him, bro. He was it's tough, man.
So look, fellas, the documentary is ripping Jerry a lot. We know that. That's basically what we've seen throughout the whole thing. The only person that has shown, I'm not even gonna say Jerry Reinsdorf did, but the only person that showed any type of love and said anything right and nothing bad was it Winnington? Bill Winnington? Was that his name? So
Bill Winnington.
It's kind of weird when you hear things from Jordan or you hear things from Phil or whatever it may be, but then you hear one player say he was the nicest guy ever. He was this. He was with my family. That it's kind of like, is it Winnington kind of saying, "Don't listen to Jordan. I don't agree with him. He's wrong." Like, doesn't that kind of like you guys were teammates and that's contradicting facts and what people are saying, right?
Well, I mean, the bottom line is, I don't think anybody attacked Jerry Krause as a bad individual person, like a bad person. Because if you think about it, him and Phil Jackson were friends before that, right? He just made some questionable decisions and moves as a general manager that spoiled into his personal life. And they just didn't really, certain players on the team didn't really want to have anything to do with him. Now, was Krause probably a nice guy? Probably, he probably would send your kid a gift or something if it was their birthday or something. I can completely see that he would be that type of person. But how many times you ever worked with a person or had a boss that was just really, really nice every time you talk to him, but some of the moves that they made as a boss made you look at him again like, I don't know if I even want to hang out with this dude outside of work.
Right. Absolutely.
So you think they are giving Jerry too much? You think we got to step back a bit and say, you know what, let's continue watching this doc. Let's get some more information on our own, because whenever you do documentaries, you're always going to get that one person or that one situation or topic where they're just picking on this person too much, or they're not giving you the full facts over here. So you guys still think there's a lot more we haven't heard about Jerry Krause in a good way?
I don't know. I mean, you can look at business, you can look at personal and take it for what it is. So I'm gonna ask you this, Jose. right now, the fact that we've known each other for as long as we've known each other, would you consider me a nice guy? Let's be honest.
I would. I mean,
Okay,
I haven't known you all that long, but I would consider you, a real nice guy. You've respected me since I've met you. You've never done anything wrong to me. You've never talked bad to me in a way. So, yeah, you're a nice guy, of course.
Well, let me tell you this. As a boss, I'm a nice guy too, but I'm a pit bull.
Okay. Because
I own a business. So sometimes people don't know how to separate business from personal.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what we have right here.
Yeah, I think along the same lines, and we don't know Jerry Krause, the guy. We weren't privy to that part, right? So we're looking at the Chicago Bulls. This is a documentary about the Chicago Bulls, the way they were ran, the team, the organization, right? From an organizational standpoint, from a business standpoint, with that basketball team, can we curse a little bit, Jose? Man, I don't want to. Okay,
we good.
Jerry Krause was a dick, bro.
Okay,
he was a real live penis, bro. That's what he was when it came to business. Jerry Krause was a dick, and I think that's the part when we talking about this documentary, when we're talking about this. That's what's being chronicled. We don't know him as a person. We can't say whether Jerry Krause was just the nicest guy in the world, or something that'll be something for somebody that hung around him for an extended period of time to talk about. Like his kids, his wife, his family members, people like that, colleagues that he may have hung out with outside of work. But no one can truly say whether he was a good person or not. I'm going to assume that he was, but again, we don't know. But looking at it from a business standpoint, from him running an organization, no, he wasn't that dude, man. He wasn't.
I'm just so shocked that as an owner, you can allow someone like that to dismantle what could have possibly been. I mean, eight times. I mean, these guys could have literally. We talked about this last night. They could have won 8 championships easily, without a doubt, no conversation there. That could have happened.
No question.
Not only that, man. If you're gonna get rid of somebody, just wait till the season is over. I've never been a big fan of firing people in between or even talking about it. Like Jordan said, players are the ones that get you. I'm not quoting him exactly, but we're the ones that basically lay the groundwork for what you guys are getting in the front office. Granted, you're bringing in the players, you're doing your job, what you got to do, but I don't see you putting on a uniform. So that was the problem. Right. Krause, like you guys said, he wanted to be the guy, but he wasn't getting that credit no more. It was all Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, whoever was there, Phil. They were the ones that were getting the credit. But
Jose, let me ask you this question. If I was your boss and you came in to work in the morning and I told you that this is your last week and we're not going to renew your contract at all, how would that make you feel though, bros? If you've been completely a model citizen, you've done everything that your boss that the job requires of you. You've actually exceeded expectations at your position, at your job, and your boss came to you and told you that he will not continue to need you after this week. Come on, bro.
I'm out.
It's crazy.
My mentality would change completely. I would probably still go to work, but I would not want to be there, and I would technically wouldn't be there mentally anymore. My body's there. You're going to see me, but mentally, emotionally, my soul, I'm not there. I'm out.
Checked out.
So let's give some credit where credit should be due. Phil Jackson, knowing this information in the beginning, went in and completely changed his mentality and said, "You know what? We're gonna do whatever we need to do in order to win." Like he wasn't bitter. He wasn't trying to lose. He flipped it into a positive
air
type of attitude. He still came to work and gave you 100%. I don't think a lot of us can do that right now. If our boss told us that we wouldn't have a job, I don't think we can still go into work the next day and give 100%.
Yeah, I think on top of that though, Dre, he also had the personnel to accomplish that feat as well. You got two strong-minded dudes in Michael and Scotty leading that team. So I think let's just say Phil was like, you know what, F this, man. I can't do it, man. I'm not finna deal with this, man. I'm checking out. I'm thinking, looking at those two guys, Michael and Scotty, leading that squad, they wouldn't have let Phil go into that funk. They would have, as we talked about the maturation process of those two, especially Scotty, moving on forward. They wouldn't have let the team go into a funk. So with Phil still keeping his cool and still having those two guys, the sky was the limit that last year, man. It was really no stopping them. Anybody that got in front of him was gonna get it, man.
It was a win-win regardless, because he knew I'm out. Yep. This is probably the last time these players are ever going to play together on the same exact team. So let's just ride it out. Now, one of the craziness that we recently saw on these upcoming episodes, that if you have not seen them, 3 and 4, Dennis Rodman. Good old Dennis Rodman. I was a little young in his Detroit Pistons days, so I don't remember that much. But I remember the Chicago Bull days. I remember the San Antonio Spurs days right before he got to Chicago. And this guy was a character, man. And I remember being young and watching him. I never looked at him in a bad light. I never looked at him like he's an idiot, he's this, he's that. After all the stuff that people, would see out there that gets thrown. Because before all this big social media, there was still media. You still saw the news. You still saw all that out there on TV. So me growing up as a kid, I would see the partying, the going out, this and that. But he was a different player, man. Physically, the way he played that game. Let's take away the crazy Dennis Rodman. I don't think, like, they was it David Aldridge? Like he said, he was probably the best on-ball defender ever to play this game, because the way he plays defensively and the way he always hustled after the ball. And he wasn't the tallest guy on the team. He would out-rebound 7-foot guys easily because he was hopping, he was jumping. Like he said, he knew where the ball was going. He knew, he practiced. I didn't know anything about that. I never knew Rodman did anything like that. The craziest thing that I saw, though, that I could not believe, and I give Phil Jackson credit for, man, was the Vegas trip. The Vegas trip. The 48-hour Vegas trip that Michael Jordan says, shit, he ain't coming back. I guarantee you he won't be back in
48 turned into 88, Jose.
Now, if you're a coach, can you do that? Can you see yourself doing that? But no, I mean, as an owner, can you see yourself accepting a coach doing that?
I mean, with certain things and certain personalities, as we talk about Dennis Rodman, I think you got to know that certain things are going to come with Dennis Rodman once they got him in that trade, or once they got him into Chicago. You know that there are certain type of character issues that you sign up for. Yep. And so the fact that Phil Jackson was just such a good facility, I mean, just I want to say mind control over Debo, just a good person to actually take all of these personalities and individually still care for them in an individual way, but still have them work together as a team. I think that him and Dennis Rodman had an understanding where, okay, I'll give you a couple of days, but I think that Dennis Rodman wanted them to come get him, because it showed Dennis Rodman that they cared about him, that they didn't just give a damn about him. Because let it have been the Spurs or somebody else, they wouldn't have never went out there and got Dennis Rodman. They would have left him, they would have cut him, they would have did all of that. But going to go get Dennis Rodman, in my opinion, I think showed him that these dudes actually care about me. I mean, Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player that I'm playing with ever, is actually at my hotel room to come back and get me. They need me. And so that's why I think he really came back. And if you notice in that documentary, Michael Jordan said we never had any issues after that, because Rodman felt that they needed him and that they wanted him and that they wanted to make him a part of their Chicago Bulls family.
Yep.
Now, back in the day, when Rodman signed with the Bulls, Try to remember your memory at that point. Were you guys shocked? And then now that you watch this documentary, knowing what you knew then, because you already went through it, but then re-seeing this documentary and seeing when he jumps on with the Bulls, was there anything that you're just like, all right, that was a good move all the way around? Whatever I might have thought at that time, I don't think it now because of this documentary.
At that time, I didn't know that Phil Jackson. At that time, I didn't know that Phil Jackson let him leave for 48 hours.
Yes, absolutely. We weren't privy to that part, man. I mean, seeing that now, imagine that happening right now. Imagine LeBron James or Kevin Durant or Giannis Antetokounmpo coming to the coaching staff and telling them, you know what, man, I think I need a couple of days off. What? Hysterically.
You go sit in the locker room for a bit.
You just finna pick up and leave and go to Vegas? Like you finna just have a full weekend. You finna rabbit bone Carmen Electra. This is what's finna happen right now. You getting rid of rabbit bone Carmen Electra and whoever all the other chicks out there. You finna drink up all the liquor in Vegas, smoke all the cigars in Vegas, and come back and everything just gonna be cool? Nah, man, too much money invested in these dudes right now. It wouldn't happen right now. It just wouldn't.
You guys saw the part where he's holding, I know you guys saw it. I had to zoom in a bit, but he's holding a Miller Lite right before he hops on that motorcycle. Tell me I'm wrong. I mean, I'm sitting there going,
Dennis didn't care, bro.
They're really showing this right now. Okay.
Care, bro.
And finished it too. I know that
man. Dennis didn't care,
Chugged
bro.
it and jumped on.
I know this isn't the same thing, but I do remember Mr. Steal Your Girl, aka Derek Fisher.
Okay.
Being in Utah, and I think his kid or his wife or somebody was sick.
Eye surgery. Yep. With his daughter.
Right? Utah was just about to go to the playoffs. They were sick. He was sick. I remember. Yeah. And the team let him have an excused leave of absence from the team. He never came back to the team, signed with the Lakers, and then they won a championship. What? Come on, man.
Not only that, he made Utah release him so he can sign with the Lakers.
Yes, he did.
Utah was like, all right, we get it. It's for your daughter. You got to go back to Cali. Let's be real. With all due respect to Derek, yes, you had to take care of your family. I get that. But you know damn well you also had that opportunity to come back, and he did, right?
And he didn't do it.
If that door look at Dre.
Hey, it is what it is, man.
I thought you had that Draymond Green moment for. Remember that at the press conference with Draymond Green when your game freezes. Oh man! Now, one thing I did want to ask you guys because I like when I watch, I like to listen to things that catch my eye, whether it's a quote or whatever may be said. Now, my favorite quote in the series so far, I'm not sure what yours is, was when Jerry Reinsdorf tells him, "So, if I gave you a bottle and it had 10 pills in it and you had a headache, 9 of those pills will help you, 1 kills you, what would you do?" Michael goes, "Depends on how bad the fucking headache is." I'm sorry. That shit had me dying. I was dying. That is a classic quote because that shows you the determination and the championship mentality that this dude had. I'm willing to take that 10% chance. You know what I mean?
You know the quote that got me, or the saying that got me, is when Michael Jordan said, "Everybody else sees the glass half full, half empty. I see it half full, like half full. Like, see it half empty." I think, and when he said that, I was just like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, he looks at things not at a negative, connotation. He doesn't look at it as the negative. He's saying, well, what positive can we get out of this?
Absolutely.
Now,
absolutely.
One of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about is the GOAT conversation real quick. I know this one hasn't been brought up in this documentary, but y'all see it back here. I'm a Laker fan. Obviously, you guys know that already. I'm a huge Kobe Bryant fan. But one thing that I got to say, and I know a lot of people that are watching me that know me, I've always said Kobe Bryant to me is the GOAT because I got to watch Jordan. I got to watch Kobe. I got to watch LeBron. But I'll be honest with you. After these first 4 episodes that I've seen, for it to remind me that this dude not only went through battles with Detroit, finally took them out. Went through battles with the Boston Celtics, finally took them out. And then you win your first chip against Magic and the Lakers. I'm sorry,
Yes.
I love Kobe, RIP. You know what I mean? To me, LeBron's still third, but I have to put Jordan now number one. Just because of how he got there. I think LeBron had an easy East, even though the East was probably pretty easy when Jordan was there too. But in general, the teams he had to take out and get through, the bad boys. I mean, and then you play with Rodman after he beat you up in the late 80s. You know what I mean? Like, to me, you gotta put Jordan as number one, man. Just for those, I mean, maybe more facts, but to me, those are my facts on why I think he's number one on the Mount Rushmore. I don't know what you guys think.
Well, I know once the first two seasons or series of this 10-part series, once the first two was done, I distinctively remember a post saying, rest in heaven, Kobe Bryant, but Michael Jordan is clearly the GOAT. Like, and it's not even close. It's not even close. I mean, the fact that he was the type of college player that he was, and then came into the league and instantly put an entire city on his back, bros. Sure. And he, you know, in my opinion, you know, like you said, you know, I got to give that GOAT status at that position to Michael Jordan.
Goose?
I can approach it at a different angle. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, for me, statistically, when we're just talking straight basketball, numbers, to me would be the GOAT. Now, I don't necessarily like getting in GOAT conversations, but if we're gonna say from a statistical standpoint and from just a basketball standpoint, I would go with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, if we incorporate everything, basketball in its totality, I'm talking influence, just right now to this day, the man sells shoes and the kids that buy them never ever saw him play and really don't give a shit. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even care.
They just know Jordan. I want to wear it.
Iconic. This is how iconic this dude is. When you got dudes and girls that stand in line to buy your shoes and don't even really give a shit who you were or what you did as a person or a basketball player, I think that says something.
Bro, I have a 14-year-old teenager upstairs that I have to force, because he's a basketball player, but I have to force him to come down and watch the Last Dance series. I'm like, what?
Oh, wow. No way.
How you a hooper and you don't even want to come down and watch Michael Jordan?
Come on, man.
But I bet you if you tell them, hey, they're about to release the new Jays and you got to come watch it, they come downstairs in a heartbeat.
For sure.
In a heartbeat. Facts. Straight out. In a heartbeat.
No doubt about that. That's what that is.
Or you tell him that they're about to release the Jays on Fortnite at 1:30 in the morning. He'll have his ass.
Oh, he's staying up. He's staying up. He's staying up.
Hey, man. But real talk, Jordan did basically change the whole generation and the whole landscape of basketball. Because like you guys are saying, you got kids nowadays that don't even know fully factually who the guy is, but yet they're buying his stuff. I mean, me, I've always been fascinated by just the name in general. Jordan, bro, I named my son Jordan. I have the Jordan logo on my arm because of him. You know, so it's
my son's name is Jordan.
No, exactly. Like my son could wear the clothes, and it's like, hey, you know what I mean? Like that's why it's funny how one individual was able to change everything in basketball. I'm sorry, because for people that are buying his shoes that came out 20 years ago, that didn't buy them 20 years ago, and they're paying 3-4 times what they were 3 years ago. It's insane, man.
Insane.
It's completely insane. But once again, man, I am Jose V. This is Straight Bet Sports, brought to you by Sports Daily and CleverShirts.com today. Got the Let the Ball Bounce crew. Finally got them on after they had me on last night on Gorilla Cross Radio. Remember, check them out every Tuesday night, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. and on Saturdays, 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. I'm sorry, I'm always remembering that 1 hour and a half time frame you guys got
That's
there.
right. That's right.
But aside from all of that we just talked about with the Last Dance and everything, one final thing I want to get into it with you guys before we finish up here is the Isaiah Thomas factor in all of this. Now, Isaiah Thomas has been coming out saying, well, you know, to my face, they're nice. It just came out earlier. They've been nice. They do this and that. But yet they say what they say in the documentaries or when I'm not there. So I don't know. I'll be honest with you, man. I think you're sour because people say that you shouldn't have walked off the court the way you did after Jordan smacked you 4-0 or 3, whatever it was, and swept you. And you're just sour because you didn't get on the team. Now, there's been reports of coming out, articles on ESPN. Look at Dre. Isaiah Thomas is still upset.
I love it, baby. I love it, baby. Yeah.
Being left off the dream team. And recently said that he would be even more disappointed if Michael Jordan helped influence his omission from the roster. Now, here's where it gets tricky, okay? Rod Thorne, which keep in mind is also the guy who drafted Michael Jordan, okay? A longtime NBA executive who played a key role in assembling the Dream Team in the 92 Olympics, denied ever speaking with Jordan about Thomas off the team. Now, is Thomas sour? Should he let it go? Do you guys believe that Michael Jordan has something to do with this? If I'm being honest, yes, I'm sorry. Jordan says something, especially because it was Rod Thorne. That's just me. What do you guys think on that topic?
Dre,
Dre,
you seem anxious. I got my little homie here too, man.
I'm gonna let you go first, Goose.
Oh man!
Look, man. Here's the deal. Here's how I feel about it. Who was the head coach of that 92 Olympic team?
Chuck Daly.
Chuck Daly, right? Who was he the head coach of?
The Detroit Pistons.
Oh, word. You don't say. Now, if my own coach, this is my coach, can't lobby for me, rest in peace, Chuck Daly. I'm not here for the bash. Rest in peace, Chuck Daly.
I didn't know he didn't love. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Look, here's the deal. If I'm Chuck, and they gave me the choice, and it was said, you either let's just say Jordan and Pippen was like, nah, man, we ain't playing if Zeke playing, we ain't playing, right? You Chuck Daly, Michael Jordan in his prime says, me and Scotty not hooping if he on the squad. What you gonna do?
Isaiah Thomas is not coming.
Isaiah Thomas not gonna be on the team, bro. Now, here's the deal. Here's what I will say.
Okay.
Was Isaiah Thomas not a top one, or was he not the top 1 or 2 point guards in the league at that time? Absolutely, he was. There's no denying that. Nothing denies that. Nothing at all. But let's look at this thing further. Let's look at some names that were on that team that looking at it now, you'll say, man, I don't know why dude was on that squad, man. Like, they could have really, like, not used him. You might think I'm crazy. What about Larry Bird? How many minutes a game did he average in that tournament? Maybe 5 minutes a game he averaged in that tournament.
But he was sleeping on the sideline though every game.
He was Steve Nash before Steve Nash, right?
True.
How about Chris Mullin on that team?
That's right, Chris Mullin. I forgot about that.
Look,
wow.
There was a way. This could have happened. This could have happened, guys. This could have easily went down. Your coach is the head coach of the Olympic team. And he ain't got no say so,
bro.
That doesn't register with me. I'm sorry. It just doesn't register with me. It doesn't.
I'm not gonna say that Chuck Daly did not have a say so, bros. He probably lobbied to have Isaiah on that team. But when you're put in a position to be the head coach and you're not the one that's picking this team, bros, other powers to be are picking this team.
Sure.
There's not really much you really can say. I don't even think right now that Isaiah Thomas has any ill will, God rest his soul, towards Chuck Daly for not or even mention not being for him to be on that team.
Right.
But the fact that, his relationship with Magic Johnson was kind of, shaky. His relationship with Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan was kind of shaky. They didn't really want to mess that chemistry up. Now, should Isaiah Thomas have been on that team? He damn sure should have been on that team. Should Michael Jordan hoe ass get over the fact that he did not get his damn hand shook by Isaiah Thomas? Get over that, dude. Because you take your hand, you still got a whole attitude about it. Calm your ass down, man. Like, really. And Scottie Pippen, shut up.
Hey, tell me how you really feel, Dre. Come on, don't hold back.
I'm not gonna hold back. I am the biggest Isaiah Thomas fan, and Isaiah Thomas get a lot of flack, and rightfully so, because Goose is, he's so eloquently said this before. He is the leader of that bad boy team. But when you're in the middle of competition, Jose, and you lose a series in the fashion that the Detroit Pistons lost, and one of your bad boys and Bill Laimbeer says, you know what, we're just gonna walk off. We're gonna do them just like the Boston Celtics did us. We're just gonna walk off and we're gonna do it. Okay, they did it. But did we think that they would still be salty after 30 damn years? Come on, dog. Like, it makes no sense. It's a handshake, bros. Get over it. Get over it. But let's not act like Isaiah Thomas was the only one that did that. Bill Laimbeer did it. Joe Dumars did it. The microwave
the whole team.
Dennis Rodman did it. Everybody who was on the team walked right in front of that Bulls bench. And now you mean to tell me that all of your smoke and your energy is going towards Isaiah Thomas? Let that man be great, man. That man got 2 championships.
I just think that while you're correct, Dre, and I'm not going to argue that fact. I just believe the fact that Isaiah Thomas was the face of the team, I think that's why he catches the flack. Now, whether if it was Bill Laimbeer's idea or not, that we'll add that in. We'll just say it was Bill Laimbeer's idea. It was his idea. But when you're the face of a team, you're gonna automatically catch the flack. That's just what it is. It's like if a quarterback, if Tom Brady or Drew Brees go out and put up 40 and they lose 43-40, they're not gonna say the Saints defense or the New England defense lost the game. They're gonna say it was Tom Brady, it was Drew Brees. That's just what it is. Be it right or wrong, that's just what's gonna happen. And throughout sports, we've seen it time and time again. We've seen the quarterback catch all the blame because his receivers can't catch footballs. We've seen it all the time. We see it right now in 2020.
Well,
it keeps happening.
Let me ask you this, Goose. Let me ask you this, and then we could be done with this. Do you know or have you played with any sore losers? Go ahead and let the world know.
Sure. I'm looking at one right now. Dre Bailey's a sore loser.
Jose, I am a sore loser.
Dre Bailey is a sore loser.
Wait, is he one of the ones you take to the crib and play cornhole like you were showing me earlier and take the money?
Hey, Dre Bailey would not like it over here, bro. We talk mad shit at the cornhole, bro.
Oh my God. Oh man, that's funny. So look, man, real talk. Anything else that we have not talked about or that I have not brought up about The Last Dance that has come up to you that you guys want to talk about that maybe no one's really bringing too much light, you might say?
The fact that Carmen Electra would still get the business right now.
Man.
It's definitely TVMA tonight. All right. So just
what? hey, this is the cold part about that whole thing with Dennis Rodman, right? So after the vacation, Dennis Rodman comes back. Jordan goes and gets him from his penthouse apartment across the street from the United Center, right? Carmen Electra and God knows who else is in the bed with him at the time, right? So they think Dennis Rodman just done party pooped himself out. He shows up to practice. They try to do the Indian run on him. Anybody that plays sports know what the Indian run is, bro.
Yes.
Hey, Jordan specifically said, hey, you get in the front of this line, you slow your ass down. Slow your ass down. Dennis Rodman gets to the front of the line in a full sprint, dog.
I'm out.
Full sprint. After he get through rapping fucking Carmen Electra.
In better shape than everybody.
Everybody, bro. Everybody. He done drank all the liquor in Vegas. He done smoked all our cigars. And now we at practice trying to Indian run him, and he outrun everybody. They got to run 2 laps to catch up to him. Come on, man. Come on,
hey,
bro.
man. This has been fun, man. I greatly appreciate you guys hopping on tonight. Before we finish up, though, man, just let everybody know out there where they can find you guys, everything you got going on. Even you, Dre, I know you got your business and everything. Go ahead and plug everything away, man. Go ahead.
Man.
Goose and I, we have the Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk radio show every Tuesday at 6 p.m., every Saturday at 2 p.m. on the Gorilla Cross studio. So just download that Gorilla Cross app on your phone, man. You can follow Let the Ball Bounce on Facebook, where we got the hottest talk page on social media, man. Just go ahead and send that friend request to Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk on Facebook. We are on IG at Let the Ball Bounce, and we are on Twitter on
yes, sir.
Ball Bounce, and that's with one
T. Yes, sir.
On Twitter, man. And outside of that, man, I do a little DJing, here and there. You can find me on IG as Searching for Black Jesus.
I
should have put that on there, man. And then I have a nonprofit here that gives back to families who are in need of food and just certain household supplies here. So that nonprofit is called Mardana Leonard here in Las Vegas. And then I own Serenity Funeral Home here in Las Vegas too. So that's what we do, man.
There you go.
Absolutely, Goose. Man. Same thing. Everything Dre said, man. You can catch us on the Gorilla Cross app, man, every Tuesday, 6 p.m., every Saturday at 2 p.m. I own a cigar and cigar picks business along with my wife, man, D&L Sticks and Picks. Right. We do custom handmade cigar picks, and we also infuse our own cigars, man. So for all your cigar and cigar pick needs, give us a shout on Facebook, either my wife, Leslie Thomas, or myself, Donnell Thomas, and we'll take care of you, man. And my wife also is an independent jewelry consultant for paparazzi, man. So any other ladies want to get your jewelry up, man, this $5 jewelry we're talking about, man. Good quality, though. It's just the crazy thing, but it's $5 jewelry, man. And you can make yourself look nice for a low price. Make yourself look nice for a low price.
There you go. You got to plug that, right? You got to plug that.
Yes, indeed, man. And also, man, through my fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, man, we do tons of things in the community, man. We work really, really close with 3 Square Food Pantry, man, giving out to the less fortunate, man, along with our sisters of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. We've done 3 food pantries since the shutdown has begun. Nice. And giving out a lot of food to people that just can't get around. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to give a little bit of your time and a little bit of your effort to folks that just can't do it themselves.
Now, fellas, before I let you go, I hope that your families are all blessed and safe during this tough time that we're all going through. Whether it's health, whether it's financially, whatever it is, I hope you guys are all straight. But one question I have for you, because it's happening to all of us.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you guys could both name that you started doing that you didn't do before this whole situation started?
Oh, wow.
Goose?
For me, man, you know, with the hours that I work, just spending more time with my family, I think is a big thing. You know, I'm a like Dre. You know, I like to get my workouts in. You know, I do that on a daily basis. But you know, being able to sit in my backyard, bro. I rarely get to do this. Just sit here in the backyard, tranquil. You know, kids running around. I got the dog out here messing with God knows what, but
Nice.
I'm at peace doing that. And being able to do this is something that totally gets lost in the sauce, man, when you're moving and grooving. And Drake can attest to this, man. It's the same thing. He works countless, tireless hours. And just being able to sit down and relax with your family and watch a little Netflix or whatever the case is, that's something that's big for me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Dre?
Yeah. You know, honestly, on my end, everything has been going the same. I'm one of those essential businesses with me owning a funeral home that, you know, I still got to get up and go to work every single day. You know, I have the phones for the funeral home 7 days a week. And so, you know, there is no shutdown for people who are passing away or people who are, you know, losing their lives. And so, you know, I want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to the Mayweather family for, you know, trusting my phone with Roger Mayweather here in Las Vegas. So I want to, you know, give a huge shout out to them. But I would like to say that something that I'm doing different or more of is, you know, cast and getting on the IG and
Absolutely
dedicating more time to the Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk media that we're starting and things like that. So I'm thankful for that because, you know, and I'm thankful for you, Jose, because, you know, you got me doing, you know, this is my first podcast and I appreciate you for that.
Oh man, definitely, man. Good stuff. I appreciate both of you. Like I said, very short period of time that I've known both of you, but you guys have shown me love, respect since day one. The fact that I went to go support and check you guys out in the studio, and for you guys to just ask me to hop on the mic, that to me was a blessing and an honor, and I greatly appreciate you guys for that. So I don't care if people want to, you know, say you kissing ass or whatever. I just show respect. You know what I mean? And that's how I was brought up. And I respect you guys. I appreciate you guys. But not only that, I like learning from pros. You guys have been doing this longer than I have. So I like to pick from people and go from there and just learn and move on. So I greatly appreciate you guys for your time. Continue to stay blessed. Take care of your families. Wash your hands, man. Make sure you do that as well.
Please wash your hands, y'all.
But fellas, till next time, I'll either see you in the studio or I'll see you on social media. But we greatly appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Stay blessed, and we'll talk to you soon. All right.
Hey man, I
appreciate man. Shout out to Vegas Sports Daily too, man. Yeah, Mike Dixon, man, doing his thing, man. Shout out, bro. Salute, Brody. Keep doing it, bro. Yes, indeed, man. Shout out to you, Jose, man. Big ups, homie.
All right, fellas, stay safe. Have a great night. Stay cool because it's getting hot.
Yeah, no.
All right, man. So once again, I'm Jose V. This is Straight Bet Sports. Tonight we were brought to you by Clever Shirts. Big shout out to Kevin from Clever Shirts, clevershirts.com. Go ahead and check them out. But if you guys did not see this tonight live and you're catching it here at the end, check out my YouTube page, Jose V, Vegas Sports Daily. You can see everything that I've done on their podcast, videos, interviews. If not, if you just want to check out the audio and not the actual video, check me out on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you like to check out your podcast. All of that will be uploaded. Tomorrow morning, you guys can check it out. But once again, big shout out to my guest co-host tonight, Goose Thomas, Dre Bailey from Let the Ball Bounce Sports Talk Radio crew. Make sure you check them out on all things social media, IG, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything, man. But till then, thank you so much for joining us tonight, giving me your time. I greatly appreciate you. But till then, remember, stay home if you don't have to go out. Stay safe. Take care of your family. Be nice to each other. And again, one love. I'm out. Peace.